Hi everyone, I hope you're all well and keeping safe. Thank you for coming to our webinar. My name is Will, and today we will be covering the evolution of snacking habits over the next 5 years. Today's webinar will look to address the continued evolution of snacking habits across the globe and how health and wellness, functionality claims, and active ingredients are being sought out more as products are expected to offer a genuine nutritional boost whilst being free from dietary evils. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can find the question box on your control panel. Please feel free to type in your questions and submit them, and we can go through all questions once the presentation has been completed. Today, we are joined by Mike Hughes, Head of Research and Insight at FMCG Gurus, and our sponsor for the webinar, Skynamo.
Thanks very much, Will and Mike, for allowing us to sponsor this fantastic webinar. We're really excited. There's certainly some great synergy between Skynamo and FMCG Gurus. We hope and we know, in fact, we've got a healthy crossover in terms of customers that we both help and serve in this particular industry. So for those of you who don't know us, Skynamo has been around for 13 years, and we help the sales teams of many food and beverage clients, and we specifically have many clients in the snacking and snack industry that we help on a daily basis. So whether you're a manufacturer, a wholesaler, distributor, or perhaps a combination of these, if you have salespeople in the field, then we have some software that we can certainly help you with in terms of improving your sales. Next slide there, Will, thanks. Specifically, we will help clients that have field sales reps. As mentioned, we have a lot in the FMCG space, specifically in food and beverage, as well as snacks. We've got a sales app that ties into your accounting, your ERP system, your financial package, or your business systems, which allows your sales teams to perform a lot better in the field. So your business will also be able to know what's happening through the use of our app out in the field as well as back in the office. And Skynamo helps with your ordering process. So it helps to improve the accuracy of capturing those orders in the field, even whilst offline. It also helps to eliminate blind spots. So by tracking all of your customers' engagements on your mobile device and having a database which it's backed up to, we've basically sponsored this event because we believe that there are many of you watching this who may need to increase your sales going forward this year and into next, and Skynamo could really add value to your business by achieving this goal or helping you to achieve this goal over the next year. Our contact details will come up at the end of the session. It'll be displayed. We've got offices in the UK as well as South Africa and in the USA. So please feel free to get in touch. And in fact, if you're not in charge of sales, we would love it if you could send our details through to the person or people who might be in charge of helping your sales to grow. So from our side, Will, thank you very much. Over to you and Mike.
No worries. Thank you, Brian. So Mike, would you like to now take us away?
Thank you very much, Brian, and thank you very much, Will. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. My name is Mike Hughes, and I am Head of Research and Insight at FMCG Gurus. Today's presentation is entitled The Evolution of Snacking Habits Over the Next 5 Years. The presentation will last approximately 20 to 25 minutes, which will then give us an opportunity for questions and answers at the end. This presentation will be available for download after the event, and you can also contact us directly at info@fmcggurus.com. Firstly, this presentation will look at the evolution of snacking habits over the last decades. We'll look at the continued growth of mealtime fragmentation and the impact that this has had on snacking. We'll also look at the immediate impact that COVID-19 has had on the snacking market, both from a taste and nutrition perspective. We will then examine how snacking continues to become more considered and what opportunities exist from a health, sustainability, and sensory perspective to help target this increasingly complex market. So across the globe, mealtime skipping is becoming more common. FMCG Gurus research shows that across the globe, a considerable proportion of consumers skip breakfast, lunch, and to a lesser extent, dinner on a regular basis. This is true both in countries that are associated with time scarcity, such as the UK and the US, but also countries that have been historically more associated with rich culinary practices and also a greater work-life balance, such as France and Germany. Put simply, mealtime habits are changing. The number of mealtime occasions at home is on the decline. The proportion of skipped meals is on the rise, and the proportion of consumption occasions on the go is also on the rise. Again, whilst this is a trend that has traditionally been associated with younger people, it's also a trend that has become more common amongst the older generation too. Now, this is something that will have significant impacts on snacking occasions. FMCG Guru's research shows that at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a considerable proportion of consumers say that they snack 3 times a week, at least at the following times. So this firstly shows that the concepts of what constitutes a meal and what constitutes a snack is blurring. This also means that consumers are substituting snacks for skipped meals. This means product choice will become more considered. Indeed, snacking will no longer be seen as an occasional treat where little to no attention is paid to nutritional value. Instead, consumers will want snacks to address a wide variety of need states. And what's also important to highlight is the high frequency of snacking in the morning, afternoon, and evening shows that for many consumers, they will still have a snack, even if they've had a main meal earlier. Again, this shows that snacks are having a functional purposes to help with things such as offering a convenient health boost, satiety-enhancing benefits between main meals, and also offering a convenient and effective energy boost. As a result of changing snacking habits, consumption patterns are becoming more considered. In 2019 and 2021, FMCG gurus asked consumers why they snack. The research showed that for the vast majority of reasons given, there was a noticeable increase between 2021 and 2019. This shows that while satisfying hunger remains the key reason for turning to snacks, consumers demonstrate a variety of need states. For instance, there's been a considerable increase in the proportion of consumers who say that they are turning to snacks for indulgence and to relax and unwind. This is something that will be undoubtedly influenced by COVID-19 and large feelings of uncertainty, resulting in consumers turning to snacks for comfort purposes. In addition, there's also been an increase in the proportion of consumers who say that they turn to snacks for health benefits and protein content. This shows that when choosing snacks, consumers are no longer just focused on the avoidance and moderation of perceived dietary evils. Instead, they're actively looking to boost their intake of functional ingredients and believe snacks can achieve this. This is a key reason why the sports nutrition market has become increasingly mainstream over the last 5 years, and will continue to do so as consumers take a proactive and holistic approach to health. Over the last 12 months, there has been an increase in snacking for comfort purposes. Now, as mentioned earlier, COVID-19 is something that significantly had an impact on the snacking market. Consumers have dealt with high levels of uncertainty. They worried about their health, the health and well-being of loved ones, their financial situation, and whether life will ever get back to normal. This has resulted in consumers turning to comfort food like ice cream and confectionery more frequently, and they've also sought out more mood-boosting foods in the last month. When consumers turn to such occasions, less attention tends to be given to nutritional content or calories, with consumers focused purely on enjoyment and indulgence. Moreover, consumers have also turned to snack products to compensate for disruptions to daily lives, i.e. consumers are enjoying small indulgences from retail channels because of reduced trips to food service channels or trips on holiday, etc. This means that consumers have also sought out more premium occasions. The reality is that the impact of COVID-19 will continue to disrupt life for certain times to come. This week in the UK is a prime example of that, with the polarisation of attitudes around the lifting of certain restrictions. Moreover, a considerable proportion of consumers believe that there will be future waves of the virus, and that the virus will continue to disrupt daily lives for a long time to come. This will result in more consumers turning to snacks for comfort purposes. Whilst consumers have turned to snacks in the short term to help with moments of escapism, it's something that's had an adverse effect on waistlines. Indeed, across the globe, there's been an increase in the proportion of consumers who say that they've become more conscious about their weight as a result of COVID-19. Moreover, there's also been an approximately 10% increase in the proportion of consumers who say that they are currently on a diet to lose weight between 2018 and 2021. As a result of this, consumers will demonstrate somewhat polarizing and complex need states over the next 12 months and beyond. On one hand, consumers will look to eat and drink more healthily. This will result in consumers adopting strategies like actively looking to reduce their sugar intake and increase their intake of functional ingredients. However, on the other hand, they will continue to turn to products for a moment of escapism. And when it comes to such moments of escapism, won't want better for you options if they feel like it compromises on sensory aspects. As a result, this will drive demand for snack products that are deemed conveniently nutritious, guilt-free, and offer taste and nutrition at the same time. Consumers are also being more attentive to ingredient claims and want products that they deem to be real and authentic. We know over the last 12 months, consumers have been more conscious about product formulation. However, it's important to stress that this was a long-term trend and not a knee-jerk reaction to COVID-19. For example, consumers can be conscious about nutritional labeling. They think that brands can often make complex and deliberately misleading nutritional information in order to disguise information on products. This has been highlighted by high-profile cases of different sugars being named as different ingredients. Consumers accept that a product may not be the healthiest, and that's perfectly fine when there's times when indulgence and escapism are the motivations for turning to products. However, what they're less accepting of is feeling that they're being misled over nutritional content. As a result of this, consumers will be more attentive to ingredient listings, with 6 in 10 consumers saying that they're now doing this. Consumers also indicate that they want to see a variety of clean label style claims on products. For instance, they want to ensure that products are natural and free from chemicals. Natural products are associated with a variety of benefits, such as being more local, sustainable, better quality, and safer, need states that continue to become more important for consumers. Consumers also want to see products that are free from dietary evils, such as sugar and GMOs. Additionally, the focus on raw and purity means that 1 in 4 consumers like to see vegan-friendly claims on product packaging, far higher than people who are actually focusing on a specific vegan diet. As a result of this, the snack industry will need to respond. They'll need to focus on promoting real and authentic ingredients. They'll need to look to streamline ingredients where they can. They'll need to focus on tried and trusted ingredients, and that consumers will want products that have a variety of free-from claims that can be read and absorbed in a simple and transparent manner. At the same time, it's also crucial that any changes to ingredient formulation is not seen to negatively impact on sensory appeal, because irrespective of concerns about health, consumers are not willing to trade off between taste and enjoyment, irrespective of the occasion. Changing dietary habits also mean that vegan-friendly and plant-based claims will be of high importance in the snacking industry. Now, we know over the last 20 years, the concept of a flexitarian diet has grown from a niche to something of a mainstream market. Indeed, the concept was introduced in 2003 around the concept of Meatless Monday. However, since then, it's grown. Indeed, around 37% of consumers say that they classify themselves as either flexitarian, vegan, vegetarian, or pescatarian. Of these consumers, the majority say that they are following a flexitarian diet where they're looking to avoid or moderate intake of meat and dairy. Again, this is something that will have implications for the snacking market, particularly products that use dairy content. Moreover, the proportion of consumers classified as flexitarian, vegan, or vegetarian will grow in the wake of COVID-19 and will continue to do so. For instance, in February 2001, 3 in 10 consumers said that they plan to include more plant-based food and drink as a result of COVID-19 in their diets. The reason for this is that consumers are becoming more concerned about their health, and they're also becoming more concerned about the environment, especially as they believe that these 2 issues are interlinked. Moreover, a high level of attention has been given to issues such as animal and social welfare over the last 12 months. And again, this was something that will drive the demand for alternative products as consumers seek out products that they feel reflect their attitudes and outlook on life. This is something that's driving demand for plant-based alternatives, something that will directly impact the snacking industry. However, a theme that's been touched upon throughout this presentation, and something we'll mention again, whilst consumers have favourable perceptions of plant ingredients in general from a health, natural and sustainability perspective, a significant proportion of consumers say that they are concerned about the taste of plant-based food and drink, whilst a similar amount also say that they are concerned about the texture. Moreover, consumers can also sometimes feel that plant-based food and drink is bland and boring. As a result of this, If the plant-based market is to continue to grow, as well as addressing issues such as the source, origin, and quality of the protein, snack brands also need to ensure that products have no bitter aftertaste and that the experience of eating the snack is enjoyable whilst in the mouth. The link between health and sustainability also means that snack brands need to demonstrate environmental credentials. As mentioned, we know that consumers have become more concerned about the environment in recent years. Whilst this was a long-term trend, again, it was something that was accelerated as a result of COVID-19, with consumers questioning whether damage done to the planet impacted the widespread destruction of the virus. At the same time, there's also a significant increase in the proportion of consumers who feel that brands should be doing more to protect the environment. Ultimately, consumers are concerned about the state of the environment. They believe that damage done has increased considerably over the last 2 decades, and somewhat negatively, they can often feel that damage done is irreversible. At the same time, this damage is often attributed to brands, particularly multinationals, with consumers thinking that brands prioritize profit holders over the planet. As a result of this, snack brands will be expected to demonstrate sustainability initiatives along the whole of the supply chain. And as we can see from the table at the bottom right, when it comes to snack products, a high proportion of consumers say that environmental claims are important. Now, when it comes to environmental claims, it's important to recognize that many consumers are not overly altruistic and won't purchase a product simply because it's environmentally friendly, particularly if it commands a premium price. As a result, brands need to make the link between ethical well-being and ethical luxury, focusing on how more sustainable ingredients in snack products can make a product better for you or healthy, or can improve your quality. As greater focus is placed on maximizing well-being, consumers will also seek out functional claims on products. We know that consumers have become more interested in ingredients over the last 12 months. Moreover, consumers are not just looking to avoid dietary evils, they're also embracing the concept of positive nutrition, seeking out products that have health-boosting ingredients. FMCG Guru's research shows that over the last 12 months, there's been a significant increase in the proportion of consumers who have said that they have sought out fortified functional food and drink. Now, the benefits of the snack industry is when consumers were asked about what kind of functional product they prefer, 9 in 10 said that they prefer functional food and drink to nutritional supplements. This is because consumers can have concerns about the side effects, the risks, and other issues relating to nutritional supplements, such as ease of digestion. In comparison, functional food and drink products are seen to be easy to incorporate into daily diets if the products offer a mixture of health, taste, convenience, and affordability. This shows that there's a real opportunity to promote functional and active ingredients in the snacking industry, promoting concepts such as holistic health, such as products having ingredients such as probiotic, omega-3, etc., where these products can offer a health boost beyond basic nutrition. At the same time, it's important not to over-promote health benefits at the expense of sensory appeal. As mentioned, over half of all consumers say that they regularly research about different ingredients that can improve their health. This is something that will be influenced, no doubt, by COVID-19, but will continue long after the pandemic has passed. This is because consumers are taking a proactive approach to health maintenance, and health goals are also shifting from being focused on aspirational to disease management. As a result, consumers want to see ingredients that benefit a variety of areas of health, such as immune health, digestive health, and cognitive health, areas of well-being that we know consumers have become significantly more concerned about over the last 12 months. FMCG Guru's research shows that consumers associate a variety of ingredients with boosting the immune health, such as protein, vitamin C, iron, probiotics, vitamin A, omega-6, etc. Consumers want to see these ingredients on products. However, it's important that they're not over-promoted at the expense of sensory appeal, and products are not given a medicinal style positioning. As a result, brands need to adopt a clean label strategy approach to promoting functionality, such as the product examples below that have welcoming and friendly packaging that clearly explain the health benefits whilst also reassuring consumers about the sensory appeal. There is also a significant opportunity to target consumers with products that aid relaxation. We know over the last 12 months, consumers have become more worried about a variety of issues, such as the health and well-being of their loved ones and when society will return to normal. However, what's important to highlight is that even before COVID-19, consumers were concerned about their mental well-being. They had a variety of worries, such as the state of the economy and the health and wellness of loved ones. They looked to cram as many activities into the day as possible, something which impacted on their ability to relax and unwind. Consumers often felt that they couldn't switch off, particularly as work-life balances changed. For instance, consumers bringing work home, working long hours, often feeling that they don't see their family as much. As a result of this, they can often turn to food for comfort to graze. At the same time, consumers feel that stress can impact not just on mood and energy levels, but also long-term health, with things such as sleep deprivation and stress increasing the risk of vulnerability to health. As a result of this, a high proportion of consumers say that they are interested in products that help them relax and unwind. And this is something that creates a significant opportunity within the snacking market to promote ingredients that are actively positioned around aiding in relaxation. For example, we know that the popularity of botanicals is growing among consumers. We also know that CBD as an ingredient is growing in terms of awareness and acceptance. And whilst there may still be some issues that need to be resolved from a consumer perspective over reassurance over the safety, it shows nevertheless that there's a real opportunity to position snack products, rather than facilitating busy lives, in encouraging consumers to take a regular break. Moreover, brands can also promote the concepts of holistic health and highlighting the importance about these small moments of indulgence and what they can do for mental health and long-term health. Products that offer a natural and sustained energy boost will also be of high appeal to consumers. Again, we know that high levels of uncertainty and issues such as disrupted sleep patterns have impacted on energy levels over the last 12 months. This is particularly true earlier on in the pandemic, when consumers were less able to engage in physical activity. This is something which in turn has impacted on snacking habits. However, it's important again to recognise that this is a long-term trend. Consumers lead frantic lives. Commute times are increasing. Consumers are working longer hours. They're often taking fewer breaks. They're looking to cram as many activities into the day as possible. And this includes personal obligations, such as potentially spending too much time on social media, or spending too much on streamlining services, or using digital devices directly before going to sleep, all of which impact on energy, ability to relax, and this is something that leaves consumers fatigued throughout the day. Now, as a result of this, a high proportion of consumers say that they regularly do not have enough energy to get through the day, and there's been a small increase in the proportion of consumers who say that they snack for energy purposes over the period 2019 and 2021, with this trend being most noticeable in Europe. However, we know that historically consumers have been concerned about traditional energy boosting products because of the ingredients used in these products. This shows that there's a real opportunity for the snacking industry to target traditional energy boosting categories through promoting natural ingredients that are natural and offer a sustained energy boost to get them through the day, such as protein as a safer and healthier alternative to traditional products. And this is an area that we think will grow in importance as life slowly returns back to normal in a post-pandemic society and consumers slowly start returning to the workplaces and normal lives. Energy will be a big thing over the next 5 years, particularly in an era of uncertainty when consumers struggle to switch off and unwind. Now, we focused a lot on health and sustainability. However, it's important to recognise that irrespective of concerns about these areas, that taste is the main reason why consumers turn to snack products. We know across the globe, 74% of global consumers say that they like food and drink products with new and unusual flavours. Consumers deem themselves experimental, they deem themselves adventurous, and they want brands that they feel match their attitudes and outlook on life and help them project their good taste and sophistication to others. FMCG Guru's research conducted in 2020 shows that across a considerable amount of snacking categories, a high proportion of consumers believe that flavour innovation could be improved. And it must be remembered that consumers are becoming more demanding of the products that they purchase. This is true even when it comes to low-cost economic offerings, such as snacks, something that's been reflected in the fact that snacks have become more premium over the last 10 years, with brands looking to reinvigorate product categories through disruptive and innovative flavours formulation. Again, this is something that can be done in two ways. Firstly, retro and nostalgic flavours that offer comfort and elicit an emotional reaction. Consumers can want flavours that remind them of the past and simpler times. The alternative is experimental flavours that challenge sensory perceptions. So as mentioned, we know that consumers are becoming more adventurous. We asked consumers why they like new and unusual exotic flavours, and some of the most popular answers included, I like to try new flavours from around the world, I deem myself adventurous, and like to try new flavors, and I like to try new flavors from specific regions, from countries around the world. This shows that when it comes to the snacking market, consumers are very much focused on experience. They're exposed to more choice than ever. This means that they're more difficult to please. This means that brands need to innovate through flavor formulation in order to target these consumers. At the same time, brands need to provide the story and heritage behind the snack product, such as information on the owner, specialized recipes, ingredient sourcing, handcrafted production techniques, and brand philosophy. Story-based marketing is something that can inflate the premium credentials of a brand and category overall. And just some figures to highlight the importance of this. 56% of global consumers now say that they are more attentive to the use of high-quality ingredients. 55% say that they are now more attentive to the country of origin of products. And 37% said that they would like more information on the sourcing of ingredients. This shows that when targeting consumers with experimental products, flavors need to be seen as more than a novelty and instead offer some enhanced sensory premium occasion. And story-based marketing and authenticity is crucial to helping achieve this. On the reverse, we know that in times of uncertainty, consumers want snacks that remind them of the past and simpler times. And just to show you some figures here, 19% of consumers, 1 in 5, believe that COVID-19 is something that will continue to impact daily life for several years. This shows many consumers feel that COVID-19 is something that's not going away. Moreover, almost 6 in 10 say that they believe that their country of residence is currently in recession. This is something that will lead to concerns about their ability to handle everyday living costs, particularly as the economic impacts of shutting down society becomes more apparent and consumers experience issues such as reduced job security. We know that in times of uncertainty, the desire for moments of escapism will be of high importance to consumers. 68% of consumers say that they find nostalgic flavors appealing within the food sector. The reasons for this is consumers like flavors that remind them of the past and simpler times, flavors that offer moments of convenience, of comfort and escapism, and they're flavors that they know and trust. And you only have to look back to the global recession of 2008. And what you saw is that was a number of limited time launches released within the snacking industry to target these consumers who want moments from the past and simpler times. Now, one thing that needs to be taken into consideration when it comes to nostalgia is consumers can sometimes have overly favorable perceptions of products from the past. And this means that if you're engaging in retro product launches or bringing back a discontinued product, you need to reassure that these products don't just elicit an emotional reaction from a comfort perspective, but can also compete with modern offerings from a quality perspective. So to conclude, mealtime habits have changed considerably over the last decade, with out-of-home eating and meal skipping becoming more common. This means the concepts of meals and snacks are becoming increasingly blurred. Snacking occasions are a daily occurrence, and this means need states and product choices are becoming more complex. Ultimately, consumers want snack products that they deem to be guilt-free and conveniently nutritious, and they don't want to feel that they have to trade off between taste and health. Green and free from claims are of high appeal to consumers and linked to this transparency over ingredient formulation. Functional ingredients and claims appeal. However, it's important that these traits are not over-promoted at the expense of sensory appeal. Taste remains paramount for consumers, and brands need to look to challenge sensory perceptions, make product categories more experimental and premium. Authenticity is needed to push the premium credentials of products and help reinvigorate product categories, something that shows the importance of story-based marketing within snacking. And high levels of uncertainty will continue to drive demand for nostalgic offerings. That concludes our presentation today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it of interest. The presentation will be available for download after, and you can also contact us directly for a copy at info@fmcggurus.com.